So speaking of news, the big stuff that's going out right now, we're talking about D23, right?
Yes, sir.
D23 is hot. It's they've got a lot of news that has just dropped. One of which is my boy Sam Jackson, who is now going to be in Secret Invasion. The trailer was just released, I believe, yesterday during the last day of D23, and I'll put the link to the trailer in the show notes so that everybody can see it. If you haven't seen it, um, it they leave a lot open. Like there's not really much that you could take from it other than the fact that shit's gonna go down and it's gonna be a series, so it's gonna be on Disney Plus.
I don't know. I'm kind of before I get into that. What did you expect from D23? Because I know a lot of people expected a lot, but I don't think we got nearly as much as most people expected. I think I kind of managed my expectations enough to where I wasn't like kind of sad. But what did you expect before you go into
So
what did you get?
so like lately, a lot from a lot of these shows, I am expecting them to um follow what is getting leaked from, because I mean we live in the age of like constant knowledge always at our fingertips, and there's no real big secrets anymore when it comes to stuff like this. And so like when something gets leaked, we're kind of like, oh yeah, it's probably like 75% sure that's going to be in there. So it's really just these shows kind of managing our expectations of the things that are getting leaked. And I think they did a really good job of like lining up phase 5 and into phase 6. So um I was pleased with the amount of shows that they are releasing, and I think they have a good cadence with like TV shows and movies and filling up the year, which
Right.
is good because I would rather have like a full year of like movies and TV shows than have to wait 3 months between movies and not have anything in between it.
Dude, isn't it nice to have TV shows now?
Oh,
Like
dude,
in
it's so
between the
nice.
movies?
Yes, yes. Because like really the only thing that we had before was like Agents of
Yeah,
Shield.
yeah, yeah.
Um that was great, but they never truly introduced any big characters into the TV show. It was always just like back of the hand kind of introductions where it was like, oh yeah, that's Captain America's shield over there in the closet. Like that's really like all we ever got from the show. It was a really good show, and I love Agent Coulson. Like
Yeah.
great work. So he did a good job in the movie or in the shows, and I think they could have done more with it, but like it got really weird at the end with like the whole time travel stuff.
Because I think at one point, I think it was originally like gonna be canon to MCU,
Mhm.
and then they wanted it to be, and that's why they kind of kept it close enough to where it was like, all right, we can tie this in some way, but we still want to be our own thing. But then I think they were just like, nah, we're just gonna make it its own thing. And so that's when they kind of like beelined and went
Right.
somewhere else. And it's like, yeah, no, you kind of lost the story a little bit with that. But I think it was fun for what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Just like following Shield and doing their stuff. I think it was fun for that. Um, I
I'm
honestly,
hoping that I'm
oh,
hoping that Secret like I'm hoping that Secret Invasion is like that show, but like on steroids mixed with the MCU timeline. Like,
that trailer gave me like Mission Impossible vibes. Honestly,
yeah,
it
dude, it
gave me
looks
more
sick,
Mission
dude.
Impossible. It seems like it's gonna be super spy. I don't think it's gonna be like comic, like if you've read like the whole Secret Invasion thing with like them infiltrating the certain heroes and Captain America being a scroll or Iron Man coming to be a scroll or anybody being a scroll like that. Because I mean, at this point, who do we actually have that's on roster that wouldn't kind of deter a story from what they're probably already
Right.
building that we could do that with? I think it's going to be more so like humanity wise infiltrated, like people that are in like political
Hmm.
positions like people that are close in Congress or like state government or just anybody that could get scrolls into a place to where they could take over if that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah,
don't
I
think
think
it's
that
just
like yeah, the perfect example would be people like that are like the Congress lead that's like in charge of Shield.
yeah,
Like that guy would be the perfect scroll. So like people who are like, dictators or,
yeah.
leaders of certain countries, things like that.
I
But
saw
they
that.
could also introduce like not well known like superheroes
Yeah,
that they don't plan on doing anything with as scrolls, because they could be disposable at that point.
or
You're
kill
like
them. Yeah,
you can have somebody that is powerful enough to go up against a big time name in the Marvel MCU, but then not be so important that if they died, like it would be devastating to fans.
but my question, or I'm wondering, we haven't had the question answered. The end of Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Mhm.
Hill, Agent Hill, and then Fury were Talos, ended up being Talos, and I think his wife or whoever, I guess the
Mhm.
woman was, they were scrolls. Fury was out into Sword. He was, out in space. We found out he's been in space
Right.
for a minute. We just have those questions that need to be answered. And then it's like, okay, so if that was secret, this is Secret Invasion, and Fury was there, has Talos been Fury this entire time and nobody knew that he was a scroll besides the other scroll that was playing heel, and then just anybody, I'm guessing anybody in Sword, because I'm pretty sure anybody that's a part of Sword would know that Fury was in space. Or
Right.
was that actually Fury in space? Like, how does any of that answer? Like, how did we get here? That's the thing I think that's kind of making me. I'm pretty sure they're going to answer it. How do we even get to that point?
Well,
But
and so like in the trailer though, like he and this is just pure speculation, he does look older. Like
yeah,
like
it seems
they made
like
him look older,
he's
not
been
like
gone
he's
for
aged,
forever.
but like they made him look older, and they made him look like he's been through a lot more stuff since we last saw him.
I think Hill even said, like in the trailer once, like when they came to meet, she was like, "You've been dodging Earth for years," and I'm like, "Okay, so that means he's been gone."
Yeah.
Pretty much has to be. I don't even know what year are we in the MCU right now. I don't even fucking know. It's like 2026 or something, right?
It's in the 2020s for
Yeah.
sure.
So he had to have, I wonder, has he been gone since like after the blip when everybody came back? Because obviously he was dusted. Did him being
Right.
dusted lead to him creating
But
Sword?
was he dusted or was the scroll dusted?
That's well, that's a good question. Because then you don't know.
Because
You really don't
maybe
know.
the actual real Fury actually lived through all these events, lived through the blip, and
But
that's
then
why he's
Hill
older.
got dusted too.
Yeah,
So that
but that
question would that also would make that question like, okay, did he leave after they came back, or did she actually get dusted and she didn't know that he was a scroll until he came back? Like, who
right,
didn't know what? But then that still doesn't make sense because obviously somebody was impersonating her, so she had to have known that there were scrolls and that she was a part of this. So
yeah,
that means Fury eventually had to end up leaving, and like he's just been gone since then. And now we have like scrolls that have been here, which I'm pretty sure scrolls have always been here. I just think now Secret Invasion is going to show that there were like two separate types of scrolls. There were the ones that were kind of just, created a life and kind of went on and just were good people. And then the ones that kind of like, all right, I kind of want to take over this shit right now. I don't
right,
want to just be a regular person. And I
yeah.
think that's kind of the thing with that. And then I
Well,
think
and they'll probably set
Wars.
up those factions in Secret Wars too, like
Yeah.
because so Secret Wars is supposed to cap off Phase 5,
Okay.
so that's gonna be towards the end of Phase 5.
Is that Multiverse Saga? What's the name of Phase 5?
Yeah, well, the multiverse saga, I believe, is 5 and 6.
Okay.
So they're tying both of those phases together as the multiverse saga. But Secret Invasion is probably the lead in also for Secret Wars, because that was also an announcement a couple months ago that that was going to be phase 6. So like we have a whole timeline of events that are happening up until the point where we hit Secret Invasion. And then I want to believe that like Secret Invasion also ties into the Captain Marvel movie at the end of phase 5 as well. So obviously she's going to have some tie-in to the Skrulls and to Fury. So she might be involved with his off-world events as well.
So, news from that, some clips I got, or some news that I found out. Apparently, so I don't know if that's the pickup, but I'm pretty sure it'll be the pickup because that's how she ended with Miss Marvel. With Captain Marvel ended up in her closet because of the bracelet and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, so from what I got, the clip was was what's her name? Monica switching
Rambeau.
places. Yeah, she ended up switching places with Kamala. Kamala ends up crap, where did it say she is? She ended up somewhere. Monica ended up somewhere, and then Brie Larson ended up in the closet. They ended up switching again. Brie Larson ends up somewhere in space. Monica ends up somewhere. Kamala ends up somewhere. I don't know what's necessarily tying them. I know it was rumored. Everybody was like, "Oh, Brie Larson must have the second bracelet, and that's how they're kind of doing that." Probably not. It is 3 of them switching places. I'm pretty sure it's something with their powers. And then I guess they end up finding each other. Monica is with Fury. Her and Fury end up meeting Brie and Monica and all them together. So they end up doing that. Obviously, from WandaVision, we knew Monica Rambeau and Captain Marvel haven't been talking, and we knew Monica didn't necessarily like Captain Marvel anymore. And apparently that's going to be addressed as to what's the problem between the two, because Kamala asked the question, are they a team or a duo? And both of them abruptly just say no. And, kind of snarky. And it's like, all right, so we're finally going to figure out what the hell happened. I'm pretty sure it's going to be something with her mom and the whole cancer storyline, and probably Captain Marvel wasn't there, and she's probably harboring some type of, feelings about that.
And then Rogue pops in, takes Captain Marvel's power.
I wish, oh my God, the day we get Rogue.
Dude.
I wish we went to fucking
But if we got Rogue, then we are one step closer to Gambit.
Well, I think the closest, I don't know. I feel like in my heart, we might get a snippet of Storm in Black Panther, but because of the way they said the plot is more focused about like the world trying to infiltrate Wakanda at its weakest point right now and get the vibranium and all that, and that's the fight that they're having. I don't necessarily think Storm would make sense. Victor Von Doom would make every bit of fucking sense to introduce in that.
Well, and that's also one of the news announcements too from D23 was that Fantastic Four was announced as well.
Yeah, and they're doing. I heard Black Panther is actually doing some reshoots right now. I'm pretty sure. I'm positive we're going to see Doom. We might not see Doom, but we're going to see Victor. We might not see Doom in all his glory, but we're going to see Victor as the politician and
okay. This is my prediction. We're going to see a flash of Doom and just his helmet at the end credit scenes.
You think they're going to give us full comic costume?
Like no, just the face, just the face.
Just the face.
Like, I think it's just going to be like a flash of like the hood and then like, boom, the metal face.
Part of me wants that, but then I know Marvel and I know how they're going to tease us. They probably won't even show us a face. They'll probably just mention his name and be like,
how dope would that be?
Probably not even that. They probably mention Liberia or something like that, and then boom, everybody's gonna Doom's confirmed. Like, yeah, no. We probably
but that would be like the best thing though, like, because if they're introducing Fantastic Four, like, let's not make it an origin story. Do
you think he's gonna be the big bad of that movie?
Oh, I hope so. I think he's gonna be like one of the big bads of the next phase. Like
I don't think
Victor
he's
Von
gonna
Doom
be
is
Fantastic
huge.
Four's. I don't think in their movie he's gonna be the person that they're fighting. I
No,
think
no, no, no,
everybody's
no.
gonna
He's
think
not gonna
that.
be.
I think
But
he's gonna be.
he's gonna be laced in the next like series of shows
Oh
and
yeah,
movies that are.
that's definitely yeah. I think Kang is like the appetizer, but I think Doom is the.
Mhm.
That's definitely the fucking entree of it all.
You
Like
can't do Doom
you
dirty like
can't do
that,
Secret
and
Wars. You can't even mention Secret Wars without even saying Doom. Like
no.
it's just not happening.
So there's a couple more pieces of news that came out of D23. Um, we're we're getting an Armor Wars series that's going to be a Disney Plus. It's going to be with Don Cheadle like as the starring role. So I think that one's going to be cool. I think it's more of just like I honestly believe it's going to go over like Loki, where it's just going to be filler. It's not going to be too
Yeah, I'm not excited.
intricately tied to like all the stuff that's going on. I think it's just going to be filler content.
I'm not too excited for Armor Wars. I mean, I don't know. Rhodey's never even Rhodey's one of those characters I don't think has ever actually had a full arc either though. I don't think
He
they've
hasn't.
ever actually developed his character. Obviously we know who he is, but I think he's always been kind of like, Iron Man's not sidekick, but he's been Iron Man's side character. I don't think he's been like ever given a proper story, like any build. And I think they kind of honestly, partially, I think they kind of wasted him just because like shit, Don Cheadle's getting old.
Yeah.
Eventually he's gonna have to like let go, which I'm pretty sure is why they have Riri Williams in that kind of to like,
Hmm.
okay, we got another Iron Man
Yep.
as character coming in. So if he does decide, I'm done, I can pass it off. I guess the Secret Invasion will have something to do with that story.
I
So
mean, yeah, it's possible.
I'm pretty sure it'll probably be something to where the whole suit of armor around around the globe that Tony originally wanted will kind of come into play, but in a different way. And then Riri Williams will be the person to kind of help him with designing all that because she's so smart. And we'll get into the MIT. We'll get a glimpse of her in Black Panther,
Hmm.
but I think that'll be her full like fleshing out story to kind of get us prepared for Ironheart, and then whatever else they do with
Which
her.
was also announced too.
Yeah, that
So
I am excited for, just because that lets me know Young Avengers is somewhere on the horizon. So I can't
let's
wait for
hope.
Young Avengers.
And so we got three more announcements from there. We got Captain America: New World Order. We have the Thunderbolts, and we have Loki season 2. So there's there's a lot of like movement, and they're kind of like in different areas of the universe. So like Captain America: New World Order, is that going to set up Dark Avengers or Thunderbolts?
And I'm pretty sure New World Order would be um, just something that kind of establishes Sam as Captain America globally
Yeah.
and just kind of gets his face out there as like the new person. And then they have a new Falcon that'll probably be his sidekick and kind of grooming him into being Falcon enough to join Young Avengers or, kind of get him in the team. Was
Yep.
Bucky going to play a part into it, or was he just going to be like Act One? They say some words, they show him off, and then he kind of disappears, and that leads into his story with Thunderbolts. I don't know. New World Order. I'm wondering what the plot just would be like story wise. What would you do? What would you do to kind of establish him? Because I mean, Falcon and Winter Soldier kind of did enough to get him a little bit of buzz, but like
Well,
big
they've already established like Sam as Captain America from Falcon and Winter Soldier, but they have to deal with all the aftermath of what happened with that like um with John Walker and like his kind of like you know shoot first ask questions later kind of mentality when it comes to being like a superhero. Like that's not typically something that we see from the other like MCU characters, right? Like
Do you think
that's
that's who he's gonna be chasing? Like, who would you
oh no, it's
think
not going to be
as the
chasing
big
that, but
bad?
like he has to deal with the aftermath of all that. I honestly I think the New World Order big bad is going to be the political system.
Yeah,
Like he has to deal with a bunch of a bunch of shit that like that like the original Captain America never had to deal with because everybody loved him.
Yeah, I think Patriot will be make. I'm pretty sure that's when they're going to establish Patriot. The way they're going with Young Avengers, I'm pretty sure Patriot is going to be like that's when he's going to have his debut as a character, because I don't think we've seen the last of like Isaiah Washington, like just from Falcon and Winter Soldier. I think something
Yeah.
he's going to be like a key mentor figure for Sam, like going forward and like being Captain America. Like they're going to have to tie that back in because you kind of introduced us to a character that's an actual comic, well, two characters that are actual comic characters.
Yeah.
So now I'm pretty sure you're not going to write them off, especially like I said, with the way they're doing and setting up Young Avengers and keep announcing so many key characters to Young Avengers. They have to be going back to that and like, okay, you have this character now. He's going to take you under his wing, but then you're going to take this character under your wing. And then that's how Sam is kind of mentor to is it
Danny
Diaz?
Ramirez.
Him. So Joaquin Torres and then the Patriot under his arm, and those will be like his mentees. And Isaiah Washington will kind of mentor Sam. I'm pretty sure Isaiah Washington will end up dying, but he'll kind of mentor him and kind of give him advice, and they'll kind of be pals. And then that'll tie in everything. And then I'm pretty sure it's going to be some type of corrupt government official that Sam will end up fighting, and they'll try to make him look bad to kind of get him from under the Captain America mantle. Boom, we have a fight. We kind of have a plot, and
Yeah.
then kind of go forward with that.
Yeah, and I think that's good too. Like not every story has to have like a super galactic villain. I think like I think it's cool that they are able to use the characters to address like political and community kind of things that are going on right now.
Yeah,
Like I think that's important just to because I mean if you think about it like comic books in the the 60s and 70s, even in like the early 30s and 40s, like they were addressing things that were happening in the world. That's how I like the race riots in the 70s was why Stan Lee made Black Panther, like
yeah,
because there was no representation for Black people in comics until that happened, like, and so I think it's important for them to stay true to that core as well.
yeah,
Like, I don't know. Like, I think that mixing that the intergalactic sort of super stellar Thor, like big names in with some more grounded storylines is great. Like, it's good content. They can do those short stories as Disney series, like what they've been doing with it,
yeah.
and using the movies as a platform for the like the large events. Like
I
I think
definitely
that's
think
a
it
great
should be Winter Soldier as like vibes. When you think of that movie, New World Order, I think it should feel like
hmm
kind of how Winter Soldier felt or
for
felt
sure.
like the whole corruption of Shield and
Yep.
like taking that down. I mean, obviously you can't take down the damn country, but I think he should go up against like politicians, not even just countryside politicians, like global, world type people that are corrupt and kind of like figuring out or
Yeah.
him learning that so much shit is corrupt and like him being Captain America, now he has to like do what Steve would do or but
Yep.
also facing it as a damn black Captain America. How
Right.
different does that look versus how Steve would have to kind
and
of go through and face it?
and honestly, like that's a great way to introduce some Black culture into like the show or the movie, like
Yeah.
because I think it's important to like just to see that happen. I mean, for you, like as a Black man, like that's got to be pretty cool just to see like that sort of
Oh,
representation. To
I'm
see,
so dude. The suit, dude. I think I got teary eyed when I saw him like burst through the damn window with the suit on. But
I
no,
know
it
you.
is. I think they did it. I think they kind of did a good job at hitting at it, even in the show with like when he went to the bank to try to get the damn loan and he couldn't get the loan.
Right.
They were like, and he was like, I'm Captain America,
I'm
I
a freaking
came here to
Avenger,
get a damn loan. Like, who I am. I'm not a bad person. And it was like, that's kind of how that would be as like a character. And I think it might cause some like rift between comic people because they're going to say, oh, Marvel's being woke. And it's not about being woke. That's shit. That's just honestly like realistic. If you think
Yep.
about it, unfortunately, you can be the greatest damn person in the world, still just they will see everything but what you're doing and the right stuff that you're doing, and they're going to go past, especially with him being from Louisiana, that was perfect just
Yep.
because the South is just the South and it's still going to be that way. And a lot of people don't think it'll be that way, but I think once this shows like, okay, even on a government level or whatever, this is still a problem for him. This is going to be the problem that he has to
Yep.
face because he probably can't react like how Steve would probably just, say this big, deep speech or something to try to move people. Sam has to remember, okay, I can't say that. These people probably aren't listening to half the shit that I'm saying, anyways. So I have to figure out how to do this while being me. And that's where I think Isaiah will come in and kind of like helping him understand that, you've been able to be in this world, but you forgot this world still is the world that it is. Like it's not gonna change simply because you pick up some damn shield and now you think, oh, the world is at my hands, and it's not. It's just not the case.
Yep.
And then that's where he comes in with Isaiah and all of them, and just I think that'll be a good story. I think Fury will probably make a cameo, just kind of helping him with that too. But I don't even think, honestly, I don't think he really needs any other people. Like if you keep
No.
it to the bare minimum of like Torres and maybe Isaiah, I think that's fine. I don't even think he honestly needs Bucky. You could probably show him and Bucky, like I said in the beginning, talking or, just keeping up with each other in contact. But you don't even need Bucky to kind of sign on to make him a movie. Let that be his standalone movie and kind of get him established as Captain America.
Yep.
Give him his moment and let him do his thing.